Hello, Carolyn. Hi, Chris, Isabel, Natalie. Welcome, everybody. Welcome,
Hello.
Excellent. It is 6:54. We've got about 5 or 6 minutes before we get started. We're so excited that all of you are here. Hello, welcome. Feel free to say hi in the live chat. Hey, everyone. Does everyone have their materials laid out in front of them? I know I was receiving some photos from some of the attendees with their kids, and they've got all of the items in front of them. Very cool. Awesome. Nathan, I imagine you'll go through all of the different tools that we're going to be using, materials, etc.
Absolutely.
Great. I've got everything laid out in front of me. I'm all ready to go. Awesome. Hi, Nathan. Hi, Raven. Hi, Natalie, Macy, Conrad, Isaiah, Dakota. Awesome. Hi, Aaron. Welcome. Someone is here from NAPAM as well. I'm just going to actually make them a panelist in case they want to say a few words as well. So you can feel free to message in the live chat. Yes. And we will also, if you raise your hand, we can allow you to speak for a bit as well. We'll be doing that throughout this session. So I'm not sure who the person is from NAPAM, but I just made you a panelist in case you wanted to say hi. Hello, hello. You don't have to turn on your video or audio if you don't want to. Just wanted to give you the opportunity. I know Sierra will be joining us soon as well. Great. So I think all of the different dream catchers are a little bit different. I'm looking at my feathers right now, and of course, something that I am kind of known for is I almost always wear a black shirt and almost always black clothes. So my feathers, if you can see them, are all black, which I'm pretty excited about. And then my, what do you call this, Nathan? I know you're going to go through it.
Let me see. That looks like your suede leather.
Suede leather, okay. Yep, all ready. I got it in turquoise. Hi, Ethan. Hi. Who else do we have here? Emily, wonderful. Hi, Rhonda. Johnny, awesome. Welcome, welcome. You can message us in the live chat.
Hello. Ani, bonjour. You're Anishnaabe. Tansi, if you're Cree.
So we've got about 18 people, a few more minutes before we get started. Awesome.
Oh, I see someone speaking Mohawk in the chat. Sego.
That's right, that's right. So just a quick note to our attendees, we cannot see you or hear you. We will be turning on the ability for you to talk if you're raising your hand, especially if you've got questions throughout. We're definitely here to help listen to you and, of course, to answer your questions. So wonderful. Give it a few more minutes. Cool. Hi, Faith. Welcome. Hi, Emily.
Sego, hello to all our newcomers.
Tegan.
There's Kathy.
Hey. Hi, Kathy.
Just connecting to audio.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening.
Scano.
Scano.
Kathy, just so you know, we can't see your face. I think maybe you're showing your desk.
Where am I here? Oh,
Your face is covered. Oh, there we go.
There we
Beautiful,
go.
wonderful.
No yanale.
Okay. What says mute?
Kathy, you've got a beautiful dream catcher already in the background. Wow, that's lovely.
Just so we get out of the way, I'm just seeing someone in the chat saying someone's laptop is going crazy. Just letting you know, it's probably mine. My laptop is old. It's been through the ringer, so its fan does not work as great as it used to. When I'm not speaking though, I will be sure to keep that on mute so everyone can hear, like if Larissa's talking or if Kathy's talking.
Nathan, we are just happy that you're here, so that is totally fine with us. Excellent. We've got about 27 people in the room and it's 7 o'clock, so we're ready to get started. Nathan and Kathy, we are so happy that you guys are here with us today for this Dreamcatchers session. We hope that all of the attendees have your items in front of you and you're ready to create some beautiful Dreamcatchers. Nathan, why don't we start with an introduction from you? Who are you? Share a little bit about your story.
All right, and then once I do that, I'll pass it off to Kathy so she can introduce herself, and then I guess we'll start. And we'll start with Thanksgiving address, a short version of that. Sound good,
Okay.
everyone?
Okay. Sounds good to me.
All righty. All right, so Sergo Seobuego, Ogatsununi Jigan Idawes, Talundaksta Jungyats, Maneke Haganeva Gohonjoda. So hello everyone, I'm happy to be here. My name in the language is Talundakste, which translates to he has strong roots. But my English name is Nathan, you can stick with that. And I come from the Mohawk Nation, just right up here from Six Nations. And I live here in Hamilton, Ontario, and my position is the Nehiyâw worker at Cathedral High School with Nawasa. So my role is to help Indigenous students like yourselves stay in school, stay on top of their academics, but also keep in touch with their culture if that's something that interests you. And that can look like a lot of different things, like learning a song and dance or learning the crafts like we're doing tonight, you name it. I started this journey back when actually I used to be a participant of the Nehiyâw program myself when I was a student at Cathedral, and since then I've simply went out into the world and started learning different traditions, most notably our Haudenosaunee traditions, because that's the nation I hail from. But I didn't stop there. I wanted to learn Anishnaabe traditions and Nehiyâw Cree traditions as well, because for my worldview, it's important that we learn about our cousins, our brothers and sisters from the different nations. So that's me. Yeah, passing it on to Kathy.
Okay. My name is Kathy Smoke. My given name is Kawageho, and it means canoes in line. I'm also a clan mother, elder. I am a grandmother, mother. I've raised 4 sons on my own. I do crafts, so I do just about everything. Tonight we're doing the Dreamcatcher, and I did one, I finished one so that you'd know what it would look like. There's one. So we'll go step by step in working on one. And so everyone should have gotten a package, and in it, you'll get some beads. You'll get the wrap. You'll get the ring. You'll get some feathers. in whatever color. And you get sinew. So the sinew comes wrapped around a piece of paper, and it's already cut to length, so you can take it off and then just use it for your dream catcher. So for those, you also got a bottle of glue in there. So if you want to take that, make sure it's open. Just open it up, and then it's got the little squeeze spout on the top. So you really want to leave it closed for now, because you don't want it to dry out. So I guess we can get started, eh? Okay,
Absolutely.
so this is.
Sorry, Kathy, just a
Okay.
quick bit of housekeeping. So if you guys want, you can message in the live chat if you've got any questions. I'll be helping Kathy. You don't have to watch the live chat in case anybody asks. I'll just raise my hand and ask the question. If you guys have questions throughout as well, both Nathan and Kathy really would love to hear from you. So if you would like to simply raise your hand, in the bottom of your screen, there's a little hand that says raise hand. You can do that to ask questions if you like, and then I can turn your mic on and you can unmute and ask your question in person. Thank you so much, Kathy, again, and Nate. Go for it. I will go on mute and you can get started.
Okay. Okay, so we're taking our ring. Now, if you notice on the ring, there's a little groove where the metal ring has been soldered in here. So that's where you're going to start. If you see, there's like a little soldered joining part there.
It literally just looks like a little line that goes all the way around that one part.
Okay, and so we're going to undo the sinew from the paper. So, and that'll take a bit of unwinding because it's like kind of sticky. And I would suggest that we just take the whole thing right off.
What I did so you don't have to completely unravel it, I just ripped off one end of the paper and just slid the whole thing off, if that's what you feel more comfortable doing. Choice is yours.
Now for mine, I have other tools that I like to use. I have my scissors. They're just like little cute little ones.
I got mine too.
And I have pliers in case I have trouble with any part. What I did, I also have a lighter. So I don't know if anyone has gotten their lighters or anything. Now your wrap, you don't need to take apart yet. So we'll just set it to the side here.
So Kathy, would you recommend that we get some scissors and a lighter if needed?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
I'm going to go
you guys
grab
will
mine
need
then.
that.
Okay. Quick break then to
Does
grab
it matter
it.
if it's does it matter if it's kitchen scissors?
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds
If you got
good. I'll be
sewing
right back.
scissors at home.
Then you might want to get a pencil and paper. So this is what I did on mine. I took my pencil and paper and I took my ring. I drew the ring and then I used the lines in there and divided it up into equal parts. You can see it. And that will help you guide where you're going to put your put each one of your
loops.
when you're doing your webbing.
And as we're doing it, we're going to teach you guys like the significance of every part as well.
Okay, are
So
we taking a break? Did she say we were taking a break?
this not so much a break, just getting everyone to get their scissors and stuff. I'm just reading from in the chat here from Johnny. Johnny, we're gonna need lighters because when we do tie our knots, we're gonna burn the ends. And what that does is that it creates a buffer for your knot. So it's not gonna end up coming undone as you're doing your webbing. So Kathy's a little ahead of me here, so.
Okay, what I do is I usually tie it, and I leave a tail of about maybe 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch, and so it's tied with 2 knots there.
Okay.
Make sure the tail's sticking out. And this is where we use the lighter at the beginning and at the end.
Awesome. Hi, Kathy from NAPAM. We are good. Things are going well. Codrand is asking, where do I tie it?
Okay, right where there's a little line in the metal ring. So kind of slide it right to that and then tie a knot in there. Leave yourself a little bit so that you can go around again and tie another knot in it. So you're going to tie 2 knots in the same spot there. Can you see mine?
Yeah, we can see it.
This is mine. You can see it all right. My tail's kind of aimed at the camera.
And see that little tail there? You're just going to burn that.
Natalie's asking, it's supposed to be sticky, right? Yes, the answer is yes.
The sinew is waxed, so it sticks together. There's a lot of different strands built into the sinew. Some people like to split it to get thinner sinew, but we're not going to do that here today.
When it's
my lighter.
See, it just melts. You just melt the tail off and then give it a little pinch when it cools a little.
Just dab it a little bit into your knot.
And what that does, it makes it more sturdier and it stays right in that line. So you can pull on it a little and it's not gonna slide all around on the ring.
And it also helps keep your knot from coming undone.
Yes.
How's everyone doing? You can put it in the live chat. Are you following so far?
I see in the chat, Kathy, could you bring out your paper again? Someone was asking for that.
Okay, what I did was I took the ring and I drew it on. See? I just put it on the paper and I drew around the inside. So that gives you like a graph, right? So when you're doing it, it's going to be at the top. I use lined paper. It makes it a little easier. So when I did it, I put it in between the lines, made sure that I counted the lines and then made sure I have one going across too. And it divides it right in half this way and that from left to right.
Trying to think of it like a pizza, guys.
Yes. And then as you're going down, you can divide it into how many quadrants you want it in. So what I did was did 3 quadrants in every quarter. So at the top of each quadrant, so this is where I'm going to start right here. So that's your knot right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to go take your sinew, go across like this and over. But when you come back in, you're going to loop it inside that. and then go on. So right at this here one is gonna, where you're gonna have another, where it's gonna loop here.
Great.
So you can take it through. Now, I usually like to have, I find it a lot easier to work with like darning needles or whatever. But right now, we don't have needles in there. So what I do is just so that your sinew is not coming apart on the end and you can put it through a little easier. You can just give it a little singe there.
So
And it
Hope
does
is,
not really burn it. But,
sorry.
Yes, Larissa, go ahead.
So Hope is asking, how many times do we make a knot? And I believe that you said twice, correct?
twice,
Yes,
twice. There's 2 knots right in there.
2's always best, but if you want to make a third, not go for it.
Mhm. So if you're, do we have any left-handers in the out here?
Not me.
No.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, because you're going to be probably doing it backwards to what we're, the way that we're doing it. So I'm always gonna lace it from to the right. So you're probably going to lace it to the left.
Okay.
So it's essentially like we're looping around the ring, guys. So
Mhm.
it's kind of hard to see from the cameras and from perspective, but we're taking the sinew, just hold it up against your ring, come across the other side, and you'll notice you have like a gap here now between your ring and your sinew, and now just pull that through.
So it's going over.
It's like it's like an over and under.
And then you're gonna pull it. Put your finger right on top there. So when your sinew comes through, it's gonna hold it in place where you want it. Okay, so your finger will go and hold it right there. So you got your knot, and then you got where you went through. Now this is where we measure. So if you took your page and you're gonna measure how wide you want your little loop there.
So Avery's saying, I don't have a circle. So what you can do is grab a piece of lined paper and you can get your golden ring and actually draw it right
trace
on
your
your
golden
facing.
ring on a piece of paper, and then like Kathy was suggesting, just dissect into quarters and then dissect into eighths.
Someone is a bit confused on the last step. Can you run through that once more?
Where we're doing like the over and under.
I believe so.
Okay, I'm gonna just do it with another. Just gonna make sure I measure, just to make sure I'm where I'm going. So essentially, we're bringing part of our sinew. Make sure we're measuring like Kathy suggested, and we're going over our ring. Now you're gonna have a little gap here. Can everyone see my gap?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now we're gonna come through that gap with our long tail. Make sure you pull all the way through. I've got it getting stuck on my pants now.
Now we also have this, the paper your sinew came on. Does everyone have one of those?
Yes. Yes.
And it's, if you've done tried to do your little graph, you'll notice that it's the same width in there. So use your paper and then just measure it like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. What I've been doing for mine, I've just been taking my index finger, and I've just been taking from my fingertip to my first joint in my finger, which is about I think like an inch. I'm not great with math, guys.
Old measurements.
Oh yeah, those traditional measurements, as we would say. I'm seeing in the chat from Avery, this isn't right. I picked the Dreamcatcher and I think I have the purse. Can one of our moderators maybe direct
Absolutely.
them to the right place?
Sure. Yes. So if you can click on the link that I send you, that's the Thursday, and you can click on the medicine pouch to take you into that right Zoom call.
Or sorry, did I read that wrong? I picked the Dreamcatcher and I think I have the purse.
I'm sorry, Avery. There might have been a mix up in the shipping. You might still want to make that medicine pouch, I hope. Maybe we can talk to Napam about sending you the recording for this session and the Dreamcatcher materials later on. Sorry about that. Thank you for your understanding. Hey, maybe
Deeply sorry about that.
Maybe you'll get 2 crafts done. There you go.
So, okay, just to get back on track a little bit, is everyone doing all right with their looping? Just reading from Hope. So I'm just showing you what I'm doing again, Hope. I'm just taking my finger from finger point to the first joint in my index finger, and I'm measuring, if everyone can see. And then we're taking a piece of some of our sinew. Again, make sure we measure. And then we're coming up along the side of the loop, or our ring, sorry. And then we're coming, you see this gap, Hope? Yes, it's definitely sticky, guys. Once you've measured your distance and you're happy with it, we're just coming through that gap again. Just make sure we're pulling all our sinew through. I see someone saying they have half theirs done. Good job.
Okay, so you're gonna just keep going. Go right around till you come to your beginning.
Faith is saying, I have mine half done, realizing I only did 1 loop around the ring for each section.
So we're not thinking in regards to your grid. We're thinking of the points we're making on our ring are like the crossed T's in our graph almost, if that makes sense. So Kathy, can you bring up your paper again?
Yeah. Okay.
So if we all look at Kathy's grid, we're not so much thinking of the empty space, what we're making is the points where the lines meet our ring. Does that make sense to people?
Okay, so it'll be here. Almost like a clock. Okay, so each one of these dots are where you would have looped it. So then this space would go right to this one, and then you'd go over it and loop through. So you're doing this many loops all the way around the circle until you meet back up with this one. Now this one
So
has
our
a
starting
extra
point.
one, so don't go ahead and do this one till we get to it, okay?
Let's just focus on getting our way around our rings the one time. Hope, string's too long. Can I cut it? You absolutely can. Just don't cut off too much because we want to make sure you have enough.
I would say
To
don't
go.
cut it, because then you'll have it too short. And when I did mine, I did this one ahead of time, and I had very little left. So when I did this one, and these are all the same size as this graph that I did. So if you notice, it'll fit right in there. And so webbing it, I think I had maybe a foot left over at the end.
We just want to make sure that if you do cut it, that's all right. But we want to make sure you still have enough to finish. Gavin, I finished and I ended up with only 9 contact points. Is that all right? Absolutely. There's no right or wrong to what we're doing. This may be a good opportunity to go into a story if that's all right, Kathy.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So this story comes from her name is Bev Longboat. She's the one who told the story this way. And this is the Ojibwe, Anishnaabe way of how the Dreamcatcher came to the people. So as Bev Longboat tells it, the legend starts with a very special woman, and she was responsible for taking care of all the children. And her given name was Spider Woman. Yes, her son was Spider-Man. Just kidding. But her duty at the time, way long ago, was to web these dream catchers like we're making today, and to hang them above the infant's cradle boards while they slept. I'm not sure if any of you or all of you have seen what a cradle board looks like, but that's what traditionally we would carry the babies in. Emily, who are you asking, myself or Kathy? Just show mine, just to show. Is that all right? Does it make sense to you? All right, perfect. All right, continuing with the story then. But as time went on, popularity for these dream catchers increased exponentially. And Spider Woman couldn't keep up with the demand of making all these dream catchers for all the children of the Anishnaabe nation. And she couldn't look after all of the children. It was getting to be too much. There's too many. That was when Spider Woman decided to pass her techniques down to the aunties and the grandmas and all the mothers of the Anishnaabe nation. Now, traditionally, these willow bark or willow branches, sorry. Oh, let's see. Miss how to start it. All right, Mandy. Sorry, then we should go. We're just gonna go. I'm just gonna go back for 1 second, just so we can catch someone up. So, Mandy, if you've got all your stuff, everyone who's on the last one, we're just gonna wait a minute so everyone can stick at the same pace. Don't worry about how many quadrants you have, because there isn't a right or wrong about that, and I'm going to teach you why in a quick moment. So, Mandy, since you've just arrived, you're going to take your sinew and you got your ring. Now you're going to find this little spot in your ring that looks like it's got a cut in it. All right, that's where our starting point is going to be. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the end of your sinew and you're going to tie it twice around your ring. All right,
Leaving a little tail.
leaving a little tail. Just let us know when you've done that, Mandy. Where was I? Right. Now, traditionally, these dreamcatchers were made from willow branches. Now, willow is a really good medicine. All right, Mandy, I did it. All right, so Mandy, once you've done that and you've got your little tail, if you've got a lighter handy, you're gonna take your lighter and just burn it a bit until it gets to your knot, and then you're gonna put that out real quick. And what that's going to do is it's going to reinforce your knot so it doesn't come undone and it sticks to your ring, okay? And just let us know when you've done that. Now, when we're finished our Dreamcatchers, or close to when we finish it, there's going to be a slight hole in our center. If you look at Kathy's example, you'll notice there's a little hole in the center. Now, the way the Ojibways tell it, the Anishnaabe tell it, this allows the good dreams to pass through and filter down the feathers to the minds of and dreams of sleeping children and youth and adults. This isn't just for young ones. Does it matter if my last quadrant is a bit smaller than the others? That's totally fine.
You can go through it if you're a perfectionist and kind of even them out if you want.
But I think it's imperative to say here too, nothing in creation is perfect. Sometimes these things just happen. We're not here to create a perfect example. What do I do next? All right, so I'm just finishing up my loop here. I'll be with you in 1 second. All right, so Mandy, you're gonna take your sinew now. What I've been doing is I've just been measuring from the tip of my index finger to the first joint. But if you have that piece of paper handy with you that you had your sinew on, you can use the edge of that to measure as well. And you're going to take your sinew and just run it along the length of that, however you're measuring. You're going to come over your ring. And you see how I have a gap here? I'm just taking my sinew and I'm pulling that through that gap. And that should create a loop like we have along the sides.
You're going from the back through that loop. And then you're going to pull the tail right through. And then it just joins up all of them. So there it is. Each one all joins, and so they're all the way around the whole ring. But it also takes you to where you're not first started.
Now I always mess this part up. Kathy, how do you reinforce your first row, like when you get back to your knot?
What I do is I go through it twice. So just to the back and pull it. Go through it again. And so you're not looping it. It's just going over the sinew. So you've got it going through. It's just wrapping that one, see? It's just wrapping it. But this third time that you go through, you're going to loop it. So when you come back, you're going to place it in the middle of that one going across. Okay, so there it is. I looped it. Can you see the loop? Right there. And I'm gonna slide it just to the middle. You see that one? And what you do before you do your next one, you're gonna hold that spot. So it doesn't slide around or anything. You're gonna give it a pinch, and then you're gonna go through your next one. And then keep going. And so every single one that you do, you're gonna take it to the middle. You've looped it, see? Slide it to the middle. And then you're gonna hold on to that one. So then you're gonna do the next and just keep going all the way around.
So just to reiterate, so when you get to the end of your first go around, once you get to your starting knot, you're taking your tail and you're wrapping around that twice. So you're going through that first loop you made twice and coming back to your last loop twice. So this is reinforcing that first segment.
And it kind of hides your, where you're joining it up in there, see? So if you take a look at that one and you look at this finished one, see the darker one there, the darkest? That's where you've, that's where you can tell that that's where you started down there. And each time you did the netting going through, it stayed there, and that's where you made it all equal. Are all those chats okay?
We're not making any more knots, not for a while. We're just wrapping. Once we get to the end of our first section, we're just wrapping, going back through our first loop, wrapping around our knot twice. So it's like we're going through, back, and then we're going to, that's how we're going to start the next go around. So if you can see mine, it looks a little thicker than the rest of the points. Now, let's see how many I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, I've got 10 segments in mine. Alexis, are you still lost? And Caitlin, are you still lost?
So Nathan, perhaps can you go from, once we've gone around everything,
Yep.
the initial loop, can we try going back to that step for a minute?
The initial loop, like when we start the next loop?
Yes, so we've gone around once and we've done all of the connections, and then you have to loop the first one, right? And then you go to the adjacent one, right? And you loop it there, and then you just keep going around. I guess I just don't understand where the points come back in. When do you continue to do the loops again?
The loop, we start doing the loops again once you've wrapped around your first knot twice, and then we're going once through that first loop that we made at the very beginning.
Okay, right. Okay, did everybody catch that? So you go around once, then you do it again, right? Each notch, and then you begin to loop again in the middle from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So
I think,
like Kathy demonstrated, we're trying to, when we're going to make the next row, let's call it, you want it to try and sit in the middle as best you can.
right. I think part of the challenge is that the rope is so long.
Yes, it is.
So it takes a while to feed it through.
Mm-hmm.
Hope is asking for a close-up on how to go through the second round.
The second round?
Yeah.
All right. So as you can see here, I'm at the very first loop I made again. I've finished wrapping around twice. I've just got my finger here holding that together. If I'm doing anything wrong or it doesn't look right, Kathy, feel free to step in and correct me.
Okay, so what you're doing is just wrapping that. So wrap it twice around in here. And so your third time is when you're gonna loop it.
Because when we come back, it's not going to look like when we come from here, it's not going to look like we're creating another hole.
Yeah.
But once we get to over here, it's going to start making a triangle pattern, kind of like how if you see Kathy's. And there is a reason for this. There's a teaching behind this.
Right in here is where I looped it. So I wrapped it twice in here, and then I looped it here.
So you won't see a triangle start to form here, but now that I've gone through the second loop that we made in the beginning, now I'm starting to get like a triangle shape starting.
You should loop it there, Nathan.
What's that?
So you should loop it right in there.
Oh, did I miss
Yeah, you missed it right back there. Okay, so see what mine looks like?
Yep.
Okay,
Oh,
so
you know what? I think I
first one
think I
there.
only wrap it once.
This is where you loop it here. So wrap twice and loop it right there.
Just gotta go through.
Oh no. Okay. I'm still confused on how to get the second loops going.
This is
Oh.
probably the most confusing part.
Okay, so if you don't want to wrap it, just go and do that loop right there. So do the loop like that.
Yep.
And then hold it in the middle there. See where it comes down? Hold it right in there. And that's where you're looping it. See, the loop is where you're going through it and then coming up. I'll move my arm out the way so you can see. Okay.
All right, I think I'm back on track.
Okay, so there's your beginning there. So right in there, I use pink so you can see. So you went around twice here in this part, and you did one loop. This is where you looped it in this middle, and you kept it there. So you're gonna hold on to it with your finger. Yep, so you've got a loop right there, Nathan, and this is your second one, right?
Yep. Yep. So once you're at that point,
Yep, so you've got a loop here, and then you got a loop in the middle.
yeah.
And can you show someone really slowly how to loop? Do that middle loop.
So like in the middle here, or do you mean in the beginning with our knot?
In the beginning with the knot.
Right. See, this is where I always forget to do it too. So like Kathy suggested, you're wrapping around once you finish your first row,
Yes.
you're wrapping twice around your starting knot so it connects it, right? Then
Can you show
with
that really slowly?
first gap.
Sorry, Nathan. Can you show that part, that step that you just
That's all right.
described?
I just need to go back a little bit, all right?
Sorry. I'm just getting a
That's
lot
all
of
right.
messages here.
Okay, so this is the part that you're working on for that loop. Okay, so there's your one going across. So what you want is this middle part right in here. You want the middle. So what you're doing is you're gonna go around it once and pull it. That's not without just taking it over that. Take it over it. Do it again. Okay, so it's just wrapped around it. See?
Okay.
So this time you're going to do the loop. So when it goes over, you're going to go through the hole. So this little hole here,
Okay.
see? So you almost made almost like a lace type. So you went over and then you're coming back through. So when you come back and you're pulling it, it's looped. So when you loop it and then you're pulling it down, you're gonna only do it till you get to that middle. See that it's at the middle?
Yeah, I think I just need a, give it one more minute.
And then you're gonna always use your fingers and just hold that one. So when your next loop goes, okay, so see I looped that one. See that one's looped. And again, it's gonna just go to the middle. And you're gonna hold it. So that's how's everyone doing there?
I have a question. Do we do 2 loops for everyone?
No. It's just that it's wide and you want to kind of hide it. So you're doing the loops to kind of make it into one, because when it's waxed and you want to squeeze it together, you don't want a space so that it's looking like this with space in between it. Eh? This very first one is usually the tricky part.
Yes, because there's a teaching that goes with that. We call that our string of life. And once the Dreamcatcher is completed, you'll see this thick strand go from the outside all the way to the inside, right? And that's the beginning of that. Because when we come all the way around, we've got to do 2 loops in order to make it look even. Now, sometimes it doesn't always still turn out even, and that's okay.
I think I might have messed up a little bit. I have to kind of backtrack a little bit.
That's okay. Isabel, now that you've done your first, let's see, sorry, what do you do after you get back to the first, not like when you get all the way around the first time. So you're wrapping around your starting knot twice. And then in that first gap you made, you're looping twice. And then once you go to your next gap and go through your next gap, it's going to form a triangle, like right here. And then once you're onto that, you just keep going through the first loops you made. And now this kind of comes into my next point from the story. And I did see a question earlier about who taught Spider Woman how to do the webbing. Well, she just knew that was her job. She was created with that gift. And once the job became too much for her to do all by herself, that's when she gave passed the gift to all our aunties and our grandmas and our moms, so that they can do it for their own babies as well. And obviously the men took on the gift at some point as well too. Now, earlier we had some questions about the quadrants and having 8 or 9 or 10 of them. It's totally all right, however many you ended up with. And some people make it really significant though. from the original story, there was 8 points to represent Spider Woman's 8 legs. Aaron, so now that you've went all the way around once, you're back at your starting knot. You're wrapping your tail around that twice. And then in that first gap we made in the very beginning, we're looping twice through that. Then in the second gap we made in the very beginning, we're just looping through. So it makes this triangle shape. Sorry, it's a little hard to see. And then as you can see, I've made another one here, and I just finishing making another one here. For finishing, when you finish the second row, essentially we're just repeating the process that we did to make our second row, except we're not tying around our first knot again. So once we get back to that original point, I mean, I'm not quite there yet, but maybe Kathy is. Then we loop around this. We loop around this twice, and then we go to this segment here. And then we go around a third time. And so on and so forth, essentially until we get to the center, however big we want that hole in the center to be.
Okay, so your first row is going to be all these ones. All these ones all around for however big you made them. And then your second row is going to be that next triangle down. So this triangle all the way around. So I started the next row. So when I finished here, it was in the middle again. That's where I went around twice and then looped it and held it in the middle there. This is your knot here. This is where you started.
I'm seeing from someone, can I show my camera to see if I'm doing it right? I'm not sure if they have that capability.
No, unfortunately we can't, there's no way for us to turn on their camera for the settings. Kathy's asking how I'm doing. I am struggling with this second looping. Kathy, don't ask to see my dream catcher. I'm not ready. I need time, okay? I don't know why. It's that second loop. I am not understanding it.
Don't do the loops in. Like don't do the winding. Just do a loop. So
okay.
You know how you did
really trying.
You know how you did these loops?
Yes, yes.
All these ones? Well,
regular ones.
Do it here in the middle, and then do for the next row, do it here in the middle.
Okay.
See, I feel like every artist has their own kind of distinct art when it comes to the looping. Like with Kathy's, hers are thick and pretty distinguished, whereas if you look at mine aren't as distinguished. This was just how I learned. Neither way is right or wrong. It's just how we distinguish our artwork, I'd say.
When I do the loop, it holds it in spot. So see, I'm letting it go, and this is staying here.
Yeah.
So it's not sliding around or anything. So even if I were to set this down, I could go back to it and they would still all be
In the same spot.
in their same spot.
Because
And
sometimes when you're weaving, they will slide around a bit because
sometimes
of that wax.
if you don't loop it, then it can just, if it's not really waxed, then it'll just slide all around.
So can you show how to loop in the middle really slowly for a few people that are asking, including myself?
Okay. Okay, what I did was, I'll undo this one here. Okay, this is the middle one.
Okay. So should we, really quick question, should we have our wax like this or like you? Because my wax paper feels so long that it makes it difficult.
It's
So
up to you.
okay.
I'm used to using it long like that.
Okay.
So if you're needing it to be neater, then that's up to you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is where I wrapped it twice around here. Okay, so right there.
Mandy, don't give up. I'm right with you. I'm struggling too, but don't worry. We're not going to give up. We're in it together. We'll figure this out. It's our first time. It's my very first time. I'm sure it's a lot of people's first time. So
after you learn this, and then you'll be an old pro and just be able to make as many as you want.
Exactly. I just think it's the second loop in the middle that I'm struggling with. I can't get it right.
Okay, so there you finished it. You finished this part. See all those triangles?
Okay.
Okay, so you want to be in the middle of that one. So you're right here.
Yep.
You want to be in the middle right here.
Okay.
Okay, so if you don't want to wind it, then just go and do that loop. So it's going in the middle.
Okay.
And then pull it. And then when you put it there, you're going to just pull it to the middle part of that.
Okay. It looks so easy when you do it, Kathy. Okay, so
Honestly, I feel like I can say she's the master, I'm the apprentice. All right.
I'm gonna back up a little bit here and try and.
Okay, so before you did that one, all your other triangles were all the same. So if you looked at it all the way going around, they're all the same. So now you're doing this next row. And that's where you're going down to the middle of that triangle. But then when you loop it there, it's not a triangle now. It's like what do you call them?
Parallelogram.
A diamond.
Parallelogram or diamond, yeah.
Okay, so I've backtracked to the first round. All right, let's do this. So the second, go through here.
For those of you that feel like you've got a hang of it and don't need much instruction from us, absolutely go right ahead. If you feel like you've got the instructions down, go right ahead. And good job for all of you that feel like you're able to do that.
Sorry if I'm slowing down the train, everybody.
You're not. No. You're not slowing down the train.
Thank you.
This isn't a matter of being fast or slow. I feel like what learning how to make a dreamcatcher really teaches is patience.
Yeah.
Because you do gotta be patient with it, and that goes for most of our crafts, really. Mandy, don't worry about your string getting tangled. I guarantee you mine is too.
If you take a look at Larissa's, she's got hers still all bundled. So you can do it like that, but you'll have trouble getting it through the little triangles there.
Okay, I think I might have just figured it out. I finally caught up with the rest of the group.
Alrighty.
It did help me, I would say, to have this. I was getting it all tangled up and I felt like a little bit flurried.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I have this now.
Oh, where's my ends?
Yay, I figured it out. It's happening.
Yay.
All right. Okay, when you're pulling it tight and you've looped it, that loop is what keeps it in one spot. So you do want some tightness to your sinew.
Right.
So see, this is, you want to keep them kind of tight so they're not just flip-floppy.
Sounds good.
Otherwise, otherwise you may get some sliding. Like honestly, when I started, I was only doing a simple loop, but I decided as I went through, I've started reinforcing it a little bit more because I wasn't enjoying the slipping and sliding. I'm not here at a water park. I'm trying to make a Dreamcatcher here.
There you go. Well,
Okay,
I feel like you guys will definitely have to come back for Opportunity Knocks 2022. Once we all have created our first one, we'll be better next year.
Advanced
There you go.
Dreamcatcher making.
There you go. Let's go to intermediate, not quite advanced, okay? We'll do advanced in 2023.
We're gonna make giant ones.
Ready to move on to the next line?
Not at all.
I think some people are.
Mandy, can you try to share which step you're on so that we can go back and help you?
Can you see mine, Mandy?
Just Larissa, just letting you know I've got
Alright.
a system warning saying my cooling system is acting up.
Okay.
Hopefully it holds out on me. I've just moved some stuff, so I've got easier airflow.
Sounds good.
Just trying to think, maybe I can put something. Oh, maybe this will work. Just put it on elevated.
Is everyone at this point or beyond? Past it, eh?
So we've got 40 people in the room. Do we want to just turn on just make everybody a panelist so that you can see all of their screens and they can ask questions? It's
Sure.
possible.
Sure, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Do they have, when they're asking questions or anything, do they come to the forefront and we can see them?
That's right.
Okay.
Like I've got the participants panel open as well as the chat panel, just so I can see everybody coming through and such.
So I'm going to make people panelists. Just if you are okay with being on camera and if you're okay with having your mute on or off, just in the bottom left-hand corner, you will be able to turn on your camera and turn off your camera. So I'm going to start promoting people to panelists. Please make sure that you stay on mute. If you do not need help, that would be great so that we don't get lots of background noise, okay? So I'm promoting everyone to a panelist, which means that you will have the opportunity to turn on your camera and turn on your audio. It's going to take me a minute or two to do this.
No problem. And recall, Emily, yes, we're doing this. We're just doing it. We're doing a repeat of like steps 3 through 5 till we get to the middle.
So Mandy, I am making you a panelist. You can feel free if you want to take yourself off of mute. You can ask questions so that you don't give up. We don't want anybody giving up.
No, absolutely
We're
not.
here for you. Okay, 23 people have been made panelists. I'm making the last 17.
Good headway, good headway. I know someone asked about hearing more of the teachings, and do not worry, we will get right back to it soon as everyone's kind of got some of their questions out of the way and everyone kind of feels a little more comfortable with where they're at.
Caitlin, I love what the greenery in your room. That looks awesome. Above on your ceiling, it looks really cool. Yeah, you. It looks wicked. I love it. Okay, we got 10 more people. Promote.
All right, my computer hasn't completely died, so I'm assuming everything's going okay now.
You can also, if you want to, you can fire up your phone too, Nathan. If you wanted to join by your phone, you could do that as well.
I think I've got it under control. I literally just put a little journal underneath it and away from the fan. So I've got it elevated now, so there's proper airflow. Like I said, it's an older computer, so.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, everybody. So you can feel free to turn on your cameras only if you want to. You can choose to turn it off the entire time if you want as well. No problem either way. If anybody has any questions, feel free to take yourself off of mute. Otherwise, we will keep plugging away here.
I'm having trouble transitioning to the diamond loop.
Okay, that's your first one. That's the start of your next row. So you're always going to go to the middle of it. So that's
Right.
that's the very first one that will turn from a triangle into a diamond.
So how do I do that? I have it right now as like a triangle, but I don't know how to get that into a diamond or if I did it wrong.
Okay, so see where I am right now? It's a diamond. It's a triangle. So in order to make it into a diamond, I'm going to the middle and I've looped it and I pull it. So then there's your diamond.
So I have to go to the next one first and then go back to turn it into a diamond. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so right at the start, like you can always tell where you've started. There's where my knot is. There's my first row of triangles. And then this is my second row right here. This one and this one. And this one I started, this one is my third row.
Did I go too far?
Nope.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Good job.
I think that's where
See,
everybody
now I'm
else
really-
wants to be too.
Yes. See, now I'm really realizing I've not made my my parallelogram or my diamond properly.
You should have got bigger rings.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
it's funny.
done.
It's funny enough. I have some teachings about that too. This is again all coming from Bev Longboat's. It's coming back to my first original point about the quadrants. Now, from the original story, there were 8 points to represent Spider Woman's 8 legs.
Natalie. This is the end part. So I'm going to the,
I made the wrong move.
I'm going to join it to the next row. So always when you get to the end, you're gonna finish off
Oh, that's
that,
what I did wrong.
finish off that last triangle. So once you go through it and everything, you're going through the top triangle and then you're going through the bottom triangle. So you want it to go to the middle and pull it tight. That's where you're going to pinch right there because you don't want your sinew to slide along. So you're gonna pinch it there. And then, so you want the middle of that triangle right there. So when you just go and loop it right there, and that's your start of the next row. So then you're going to just put it, your little loop to the middle, and you've got the start of your next row. So, and this is the vein that Nathan was talking about. This is the life vein that goes through there. That's where you're always gonna end and start.
Ooh, I have a conundrum going on. Where's my end?
Okay, how is everyone doing?
I'm practically done.
Good.
Yeah, like I'm not sure how big to leave the hole in the middle, so I don't know if you can see
How
that.
does it look in the middle?
Can you see? I'm not sure if I have the middle. Like it's just a little tiny hole.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Faith, yours looks gorgeous. I love it.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Can you go through how to start the 3rd round again? So I finally am on the 2nd round. I need some help on the 3rd.
Okay, so for that one, you're going to, this is the first row, these ones. There's your knot.
Yes.
Okay, so there, this is your 2nd row. This one and this one. Now, this little one will be your 3rd row. This here one. So you're gonna come along and you're gonna start in the middle here. And then you're gonna go all around like this one, going there. So you're making that triangle and being in the middle. So you're gonna go all the way around. And then you're gonna end up at that dark vein again.
Okay.
It's okay, I always forget this part too.
I still don't know how to start my 2nd set of loops.
So your 2nd one, this is your knot. So when you've gone and you have this whole row of singular ones here, little triangles all the way around. So then you're gonna come up to your 2nd row. So here will be this row here. This is where you're gonna come, you're gonna put it on here and you're gonna loop it to this middle. that middle of that first triangle. And then you're going down. So it will be the middle of each one all the way around. See?
What do we do to end it?
There's a lot of ways to end it. You can, like, if you want it to stay big, you can have it like that. Or what I do is I go as small as I can get it. And then I just loop every single one of them going in there. Loop into them, and you've got a tail. So then I pull it tight. And it makes that hole nice and small. See how small this one is?
Yep.
Okay, so when I pulled it tight, and in that last loop, I just knotted it.
Okay.
Okay, so when it went in, I just pulled it tight and I knotted it there.
All right.
And then I cut it off with the tail. So it was just a little tail about like this. Now this part you have to do quick because sometimes it slips, eh? So when
Okay.
it's sticking out there a little bit and you take your lighter and you light that, but when you do it, take your finger, push it outwards. See, so your finger's going out, making a lump,
Okay.
and your tail's gonna stick out. We'll just stick this one in here. Your tail's gonna stick out of it just a little bit. So like this. You can move it so you can see it. Okay. So see how that little tail's sticking out?
Uh,
That's the one you want to be quick, and you just want to singe it and let it go down.
okay.
And when it's down close and it's melted, you're just going to give it a push. And
Okay.
so that makes it disappear.
All right.
So you've got no lumps or anything.
I did something wrong when I was starting my third loop, and I just don't understand how to get from the triangle to the diamond.
Okay, so put it up. Put it up, let me look. Okay, so you're right here where you are. Okay, so you're going to wind it. Okay, so let me see. When you're going to do you're going to go to the middle of it, loop it. It's almost the same as the ball along, but see, you're making that triangle into a diamond. See, by just going to the middle. Yeah. So I'll get around to the beginning part and I'll show you where you're.
Do people want me to go back and start again with the teachings, or how are you feeling?
Well, let me show her how to do that part first, and then so we're
Not a
not,
problem, Kathy.
so we don't interrupt you.
Sounds good.
Everyone's coming along good?
You know, it's coming along. I don't know if it's not perfect, but it's
not.
our first
Here's
one.
the thing. Here's the thing, Larissa. It's never meant to be perfect.
Okay.
I did say it earlier. Like nothing in creation was built to be perfect. Even in our creation story,
It's meant to be unique.
it's meant to be. Yeah.
Okay,
I
Natalie.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, so there's the end of the other one. And this is the beginning. Okay, so you ended yours, right?
Yes.
So it goes through here.
Like I looped it and then I went to go down to the middle, but then it did that.
Okay, so you need to loop it in through there too. So see when you're seeing that part, you're doing 2 triangles in that part. So you're doing this top one, that top one there. This one. So you're going in that one, and then you're coming out that bottom one. See that bottom one down here? So it's going to loop right over that little cross part there. Can you see it? That one? So you're looping. I went through this one. Okay, so I went through this top triangle. This one. And I came up this way to that bottom triangle there. That one right there. Towards me. So it's, then when you pull it, it pulls them both. See? So then you've got triangles again.
I have a quick question. So, I'm like right here right now, but I don't know if I don't know if you can see it either. It's like, and I don't know what to do next. But I feel like I might have messed up. I don't know.
Hold it
See
still there. See where you're gonna go through that top triangle?
This one?
Yeah. And
Okay.
then in through, like out towards you, through that bottom triangle.
This one?
The other one.
This
The
one?
other side. Yeah, that one. Okay, now pull it tight.
Yeah.
And that gives you a whole row. So it'll be like this one. See?
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. And this is the one where you're going. This is where you want to go to the middle of this next triangle. That's the start of your next row.
So I'm curious about when the beads come in. I guess that will be the dangling with the feathers as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the next big step.
Yeah. This
Um,
is
if-
the one that I finished. I put some beads at the top.
Oh, beautiful.
And then I put some to hold the feathers in. See?
Awesome. Oh yeah, lovely, lovely. Can you just ship me that one? That would be great.
So, and there was some of the sinew left over, not the sinew, the leather. There was a piece of it left, maybe a foot and a half.
Are we okay for Nathan to share his continue the
Yeah.
story?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Where was I? I think I was still at the quadrants. I talked about how from the original story it was originally the 8 points to represent Spider-Woman's 8 legs. But other individuals, when they make them, they make 7 points to represent the 7 grandfather teachings. Who knows what those are?
Humility.
Kathy's got one. Who wants to share another?
Compassion. Trust. I'm not really sure because the 7 grandfather teachings
It's more of an Ojibwe thing, yeah. I thought I just heard someone say one.
Courage.
Courage, yes.
Is one empathy?
Empathy, you know where I'd throw that in with? I see from hope, honesty, correct. Amber, I see truth. Someone else said truth as well.
Respect.
Respect, yes. Good job, Isaiah. Anyone else? Where
Wisdom.
are we at?
Courage.
Wisdom, yes. Wisdom, courage.
Love.
Love, yes. Good. Let's see, where are we at? Let's see, humility, we've said.
Humility, honor.
Honesty, there we go. I think that's the one we've been missing. Humility, honesty, love, truth, wisdom, respect, and courage. Yeah, I think we're good. Yes, those 7 grandfather teachings. And then still some others use it to represent the 7 Anishnaabe prophecy fires. And that's a whole nother thing. That's a big, big teaching that I probably do not have time to go into. And then some people will use make 5 points to represent the 5 sky shapes, the 5 sky beings. And then still more, some people do 13 to signify the 13 moons. And that's more of a big one in our, that's a really big one for any of you that are Haudenosaunee, but that's important to in Anishinaabe traditions as well. And then even still, some people will even do 28 to represent the 28 days in a lunar month. So funny enough, we're in February, so think what our calendar would look like if every month were like February. Just had 28 days. And so then the original shape, the circle, is to represent the sun and the path that it travels in the sky around the earth. And traditionally, Dreamcatchers at the time would have been made to be 3.5 and 5 inches in diameter. Any bigger, they say, and it would be it would lose its potential, its significance, and its power. Reason why I'm not entirely sure, because Bev Longboat does not go into further detail about that. But
what about Dreamcatchers with 17 loops around the ring?
17 loops.
Like that one up behind me that my aunt made.
Honestly, I'm not too sure about 17. But I'm sure you said your aunt made it, Johnny?
Yeah.
You know what? I would ask your aunt. Why did she, when she made hers, does the 17 loop signify anything to her? Because every artist has their own reasonings behind the things they do. Like usually I like to do the 13 for the 13 moons, but today I'm compromising. And then here we go getting into the beads. Over time, things started getting added to the Dreamcatcher. Some people add 3 beads into their web, and those.
Then you like this one.
Yeah. Now the 3 beads would for the Anishnaabe would represent the 3 fires of the Anishnaabe people. Now that represents the Chippewa Nation, the Odawa Nation, and the Potawatomi nations. Those are the 3 fires in the Anishinaabe Nation. Anyone here from Credit River? Not hearing anyone point out, but that's okay. So if you look at Mississaugas of Credit River, there's a flag that they have there. They got their eagle on there, and then they have their 3 fires. That's same thing as like what we're talking with the three beads. That represents the 3 fires of the Anishinaabe Nation.
How many nations are there among the First Nations?
A lot.
A lot.
Across Ontario and across Canada, there's
across the United States.
There's over 500 just in Canada.
At one point in history, some speculate there might have been almost 700 nations living here on Turtle Island.
Wow.
Roughly.
I thought there was 5 main nations in the First Nations.
You may be thinking of the Haudenosaunee, like our original confederacy. So when the Peacemaker originally came to the 5 nations in their time of war, it was the original 5. So I'm sure most of you know what the 6 Nations flag looks like. It's got the 4 squares and then our pine tree in the center on a bed of purple. So each part of that represents one of our nations. So for example, the tree in the center represents Onondaga because that was where the final, the Onondagas were the last ones to join the Confederacy because Adodarho was the last one to agree to the peace, and on their land was the sacred great white pine that all the warriors threw their weapons into a hole that they dug at the base of the tree, and as they did that, they all recited the word Skana, which means peace, or some of them would have said Skano, if you're okay, Yuga, etc. But we're called 6 Nations now, and the reason for that is because later in history, the Tuscarora joined us because they had been kicked out of their homelands, and I can't remember if it was Carolina or Connecticut. Kathy, maybe you know that better than I do.
Carolina.
Mm-hmm. But they're distant cousins of ours too. They speak a similar language to ours. Tanea, I'm not too familiar about the 3 fires just because I myself am not an Anishinaabe person. I'm a Haudenosaunee Ganyankehaga person. Depending where you live. I'm sure there's someone you can absolutely ask about that. Good person I would suggest to ask about like the three fires and those Anishnaabe teachings is Mala Shawana. For starters, he is a fluent Anishinaabe Moan speaker, so a Ojibwe language speaker, and I think he's the right sort of person to be asking for those teachings. And Dakota says that's her Mishomis, her grandpa. See, he knows. Yes, and Tanea, he is really good at teaching the language, so I definitely recommend if you can reach out to him, definitely reach out to him. He's a very good speaker, and he's very kind too.
So how's everyone doing in the live chat? Are we getting close to the next stage?
I think some are waiting. So.
Yes, I think some are waiting. I mean, I'm nowhere close to my center. I'm just saying that now. I'm very meticulous and.
Gavin's saying, I finished it, but the hole is not perfectly centered. Mine neither. That's okay.
Do not worry.
And
Tanea is asking to go over the ending again. So
every one of them is unique.
That's right, Johnny.
Just like everyone is.
Absolutely.
There can never be two of the same person. Even if that person has been cloned, they won't be exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
Mandy, do not worry. These are not meant to be perfect. They're not even really meant to be good. They're meant to be yours.
And the important thing is that you didn't give up.
And they're special to you.
Definitely.
And that can be said about any of our crafts. Like if you do beadwork or other sorts of traditional crafts, nothing's meant to be perfect.
I'm finding the longest part right now that it's taking me to do is actually just get to the very center. It's like the small ones in the middle. You know, they're so meticulous. Yeah.
Yes.
That's when I like to have a needle. So
helps you get
darning
through those.
needle. Darning needle is perfect for it, eh? So it helps you control your sinew, and then plus it makes it easier for going in and out of these.
Sure. Someone just said I had to grab my tweezers. That's a smart idea.
It is, yeah, do it. Whatever helps you get through those last little loops, do what you need to do.
I'm using a pen.
Yep.
What I did is I wrapped it around my hand, and then I took it off and kind of squeezed it together, but
Smart.
making sure that there was still a line of sinew so that I can still pull some out.
History of sinew. Oh, that's a good one.
I had it like this at the end, so I could pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
And I just stuck it in, then bent it a bit and pulled it out through the loop, making it so that it wouldn't slide.
Long ago,
Good job, Johnny.
women prided themselves on the things that they could make for their families, all the clothing and leather work and everything. So
Nice.
what they did was they used every part of the animals. So what they did was take the intestines and use them, like stretch them out as sinew, and use them because they were waterproof. Use them to stitch up things, and they would come and you could pull them apart, and they would be like in strings like this. So, and they used bone instead of needles. They used pointy bone and threaded it and used it to go through. They had a awl, and they would push the holes into there and then use that bone to thread that sinew all through to hold their clothing together. Not only their clothing, but their sleds, their blankets, their parts for their tents and everything. Even different parts that they put in their canoes and their ships, like their boats. They used it to hold them together.
Yeah, the thing about guts kind of.
Now, we're not what we're using here. The sinew, it's not made out of animal intestines.
Yeah, I know.
This is
imitation.
Imitation sinew.
Yeah.
But as Kathy
I
said, traditionally,
understand the small pieces of bone into needles. I understand that.
So oh, sorry, go ahead, Johnny.
Oh, no, you go. Still thinking of the word.
So at the very end, do we tie it off, and then do we singe it with the lighter?
Yes.
Okay.
But you gotta be quick.
Right.
I've worked on these for years. So there's a lot of little tricks and everything. So sometimes I incorporate a lot of the things that I've learned. I've taught myself how to do beadwork and leather work since I was 14 years old. I started and I did a lot of beadwork and traveled around Ontario and the States and sold my crafts. And I really enjoyed just making everything. It's just like I could see something and I'd like to learn how to make it. So I just checked it out, and I was one of those gifted ones where I could look at something and figure out how it was made.
Sometimes it just takes trying something to realize you're good at it, doesn't it?
Sometimes,
it takes
yes.
trying things. That's right. It's like
Yeah.
you have to try something at least once to know if that's something that you're good at or something that you would enjoy at. I think that's actually a big piece of what this event is all about.
Absolutely.
Learn.
You need to try it before you know if you like it.
I went to school and I worked hard and I became a nurse, an RPN.
Oh.
And then I got hit in the parking lot and it broke a big chip out of my hip. So then I couldn't walk. I was laid up for so long and went into like kind of a dark place and thinking, what am I going to do? Because I was the sole support for my son. And every day I would like go deeper and deeper. And then one day I thought, what is my gift? Everybody's got a gift. So instead of just laying back and just being depressed, I thought, well, you know, the Creator still hasn't taken my mind and my hands. I can't walk very far, but my hands and my mind can still work great, and I can learn how to do things. And so I kept up with my crafts and everything, and that's how I've supported myself over the years. And just continue learning. So, and I just love it. I just like, I'm not confined to home, and not, I'm still able to do things and make things and still teach. I went back and I learned, I got my BA in Cayuga language. And so I can teach a language too, but it was mainly for me. I wanted to learn it. So there's like still opportunities for so many different things. You just have to not ever give up, right?
Yeah, I have a saying, it's never done till it's the end.
Yeah.
And I can say for like, go ahead.
I always tell my sons when I raised them is that, you know, when the Creator made you, He made such a unique part of Himself, because He breathed 3 breaths into you when He made you. And it was to see you grow and continue on with your life and to be as successful as you can be, but always to know that you're native and to be proud of it. So many things have taken away from us, and our grandparents and their grandparents have fought to just be themselves, and He gave us all that. Now we're coming to an era where we're freer to be who we were meant to be. And we need to be proud of who we are.
So I'm getting a couple of questions. Can you show the ending, or are we waiting? Is it possible, Kathy, would you be able to begin on the next step? Are people okay with that? Can we keep going here?
Okay, are we ready for the ending?
I got a few messages that said yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yep, I'm ready.
When we get to the spot here.
I got about 8 feet left.
It's funny, I actually ran out. I think I did that kind of interestingly. I had to, yeah, I had to get creative at the end there. There we go.
It's okay if you're not ready yet, guys. We can go over it again later.
Okay, what I usually do is, like I said, go through each one at the end. See all the little triangles? I just go through them. All the way around until I meet back up with the last part here. Okay. Okay, so I'm at the end here. Now, see that little hole? Well, when I go around it and then I pull it, see? And it goes smaller. So the string's gone through all around the last triangles, ones right in the very middle. So I just go through them. And then that very last one is the one where I'll go through again, and then I'll knot it. So with that one, what I do is I'll leave a little tail and I'll snip it off. And then I'll take that lighter, but you got to make sure to push it out and then light it. There. So that ends it and it holds it in there. It's got like a little knot to it.
Wow, that's really good.
And then there, we're ready for wrapping the leather on it.
Great.
And this is how much sinew I had left. I'd say about 3 feet. Okay. So our next step will be getting our sinew out.
Got it.
Mine's black and my beads are black and red.
Great.
Mine is
And-
turquoise.
Nice.
I think each package is a little bit different. We all have some different beads as well. So
Yeah,
different colored
I've
feathers.
got a mishmash of forest green, dark blue, and lavender. So that's going to be an interesting looking one.
Now I noticed when I did I haven't used this kind of leather before. What I do is cut my own strips and do my own dream catchers, and these ones I find really thin, so it's a little different to work with. So
Another way to get it off easy.
okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna look at it, find your top and your bottom. So you can use the part where you melt it again. And just go over to that space right beside it. Okay, so I would say pull about a foot long, about a little bit longer than your laptop or whatever you're, and then just give it a tie right there. Okay, so
So for me, it's about the length of my
there's the knot,
forearm. Is my lower arm.
and I just tied it right there. Okay, yeah. So your forearm. And so then you're gonna start wrapping it. So all you're gonna do is just keep wrapping it around and around. So you've got that tail, and because you tied it there, you're gonna use it after. So that's gonna be this top part. See this top?
Right.
You hang it up with that part. So when you're wrapping it, you've always got to straighten out the leather and keep it flat. Watch that it doesn't twist. Don't cut it because You're going to,
I missed what you said after you make the knot, after you like pulled a foot length of the leather and made the knot. Sorry, then how do you start it after that, like on the ring?
I just put a knot, I tied it in one knot right there.
Yeah.
Right near the end of it, like inside here.
Okay.
So you kind of go.
I see.
It's just to hold.
I did it wrong. I did the knot like not on the ring. I just tied it in a leather.
It's just tied there, see? You just
Okay,
go
so you
down,
go from
right?
the top in and you loop it inside, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
When you're done, you're gonna undo that knot.
Okay.
So about your forearm, the length of your forearm there.
Got it.
Wait, what do we do for the start one?
Okay, you're just tying it on there. See?
The one which is the length of your forearm?
Yeah. There's the tail part there.
So you tie it
Just tie it on there.
on.
And then start wrapping this one. Wrap it and make sure it's flat. See?
Okay.
This one takes longer than doing the netting.
And the more points that you have, the longer it might take, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how I ended up with 12 points, but it's good. I'm fine with it. Nathan, does 12 represent anything?
12.
Breakfast.
What's
Breakfast?
that?
Eggs, a dozen eggs.
Oh, I love that. Yes, 100%. I'm good with that.
At least you don't have 17.
Right, right. Hi, Jason.
For this one, I got 10, but my aunt got 17 when she made the one behind me.
Wow.
Does 17 loops stand for anything?
No, I don't know. For a male, I would probably say he's the prime. So when he's learning and becoming his strongest.
Gavin is asking, sorry, how do I do this string part? He's looking for a recap.
How's he doing what?
He is looking for a recap on how to do this part, the wrapping around of the string of the leather.
Okay. All I did was tie it right here. So it's just at the top of where two meet on the middle. I just tied it there. And it's about the length of your forearm. And then wrap. And wrap, see? And just try and keep it straight and smooth. There's it's just one loop there.
What do we do when it runs out?
It won't run out.
You won't run out.
You're gonna have some left over after.
Wait, we whack the one that's the length of your forearm around it?
No, you're wrapping the other one, the long part.
Oh.
See, this here one. You're gonna wrap a little bit
I
after.
just noticed why it was getting really short.
That's this part here. So you're gonna hang it up with that part.
Okay.
So this one part over here, this long one, is what you're gonna wrap it all the way, all the whole ring.
Okay, I was getting really confused why the string was getting really short.
I just have a quick question. So after you finish like the middle part, what do you do then? Like, how do you end it?
Do you have it tied off?
How do you tie it off?
All right, 1 second.
Are you to a tie off yet?
Yeah, she's at a tie off yet.
Are you?
She's at. I'm getting there.
Mhm.
I'm very slow, and I am not ashamed of that.
Now I understand why they booked it from 7 to 10 p.m. I was like, 3 hours. I'm not sure that we're going to need that much time. Oh yeah, we're already at 9 o'clock.
Okay, so
And yeah, go ahead.
for the ending part, there's the end in the middle. So what I did was go around this last bunch of triangles all the way around, and when I got to the end, I went through the first one. And then when I came through, I hooked the loop, so I tied a knot there.
Okay.
And then I left a little tail. So you're going to have just a small piece sticking out like this.
Mhm.
Once you got once you got it knotted there.
Okay.
So then be careful when you go to light it, because you just want it to melt it down so far.
Yeah.
Make sure that you push it out like this, so that it's pushed out, so that you're not going to get any of your netting here
Okay.
with
Sounds
your
good.
light. And so when you light it, just let it burn and then blow it out real fast. And then
Okay.
just let it cool a little bit, touch it, and it'll make a nice flat knot part.
Okay.
Okay.
Appreciate more, Nathan, the story of Spider Woman, because she had if this was in such high demand, if everybody was asking you for them, you'd say, oh my goodness, it's going to take me so long to create all of these. She had to teach others how to do it because she couldn't do them all herself.
I've got another story if you want to hear it.
Sure.
This comes from a different nation altogether, though. This comes from the Lakhota nation in on the Great Plains.
Hey, sorry, before you get into that, Nathan, can you answer Conrad's question? Do we go all around with the sinew?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you do. So make it close and touching each other, so it's smooth, and you're going to go all the way around.
Great. Thanks, Nathan.
Oh, and if you need another example of how great Kathy is at this is just another example of her work.
Wow.
I got this off of her years ago. I don't even remember when I got this off of you, Kathy. It was at one of the community events here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? Yeah, it was Gage Park powwow, I think. But she's done beadwork in the outer circle, and then she made a dreamcatcher in the center.
Wow. Beautiful. Kathy, is there any way, do you make items and sell them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can we learn more about how to access those or purchase them?
I have a Instagram page. It's crafts by Cass. So it's crafts.by.cass, Kass. I do beadwork, leatherwork, earrings galore, things to order, like say you wanted purple, then I would make you purple. If you wanted it big or little, you wanted necklaces. I've done, I don't know if you know Dan Smoke, he's on the radio in London. I just finished 4 medallion necklaces for him, and I did 3 killdeer necklaces and 1 bear clan necklace.
Well, I'm following you now, so there you go. Put the
All right.
handle in the live chat if anybody else is interested.
I do the lanyards,
Oh.
the short ones, the long ones. I do just beadwork to order.
Love it. Okay, Nathan, we're ready for your story.
Alrighty then. So now, like I said, this story comes from the Great Lakota Nation out on the Great Plains there. So that would be like modern day the Dakotas. I'm just seeing Bamapi, Quadman, Chimigwich, Nathan, and Kathy. Thank you, Jason, for joining us. Bamapi. But yeah, so they lived on the Dakotas, so North, South Dakota. They lived in parts on, that's what a lot of those Great Plain nations did back in the day. They traveled because they followed the buffalo, right? Anyways, so a long time ago, there was this old Lakota spiritual leader on a high mountain. And while he was on that mountain one day, he had a vision. Iktomi, the Lakota trickster spirit, had came to him in his vision. And in this vision, he appeared to him as a spider. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, nudge. There's the spider again. Iktomi spoke to him in a language that a sacred language, that only Lakota elders knew and could understand. And as he spoke, Iktomi took the elder's willow hoop staff, and he began to spin a web. Now this willow hoop staff also had feathers and horsehair and beads of all kinds attached to it too. He talked to the elder about the cycle of life, how we start off in our lives as infants and move into childhood. And then forth, we eventually move into adolescence and adulthood. And finally, in the last stage of our lives, we move into the elderly stage. And at that stage, not everybody, but some elders need to be taken care of again, thus, like when they were children, thus completing the cycle of life. But Iktomi also said during our lives, there are forces, some bad and some good, that affect our pathways. Now, if you listen to these good forces, they'll steer you on the right path and you'll be fine. But if you listen to those negative forces, those bad forces, they may steer you wrong and may hurt you and set you on the wrong path. But you can always come back to that good path. And all these forces come from the Great Spirit, which they would say in Lakhota, Tunkashila, and all these wonderful teachings that come from him. After Iktomi had finished speaking, he had finished his web, and he had, like we had done tonight, he had went from the outside inwards, and he gave the elder his web and said, "See, it is a perfect circle, yet there is a hole in the center. you can use this web to help yourself as well as your own people. And he said to him as well, you can use this to reach your goals and make sure your ideas, dreams, and visions become of use to you. The web will catch your good dreams and the bad ones will go through the hole. Now, if you remember from my earlier story, from the Ojibwe perspective, the Ojibwe believe that the bad dreams get caught in the web and the good dreams go through and go to you. There's no right or wrong way, though. It's each nation's way of telling the story.
So Natalie's
Now, after that, oh, go ahead.
Natalie's asking, my mom helped me a lot and we just tied it off. What do I do for the leather? So if you can go over the tying, etc.
So you're going to, kind of similar like with your sinew, you're going to tie your leather onto where you started. So for example, for mine, I started up here. So you're going to tie your leather around there. And then make sure you have a good amount of it too. About, I think Kathy said what, about a foot, or was it longer?
Yep, your forearm.
Your forearm?
From the tip of your hand to your elbow.
And then you're simply just weaving it around the metal ring.
So like just wind it around in like a circle, pretty much over and over.
Pretty much.
Yep.
So
Just make sure that it's flat up against the ring and close to each other. Well, each pass.
So that you can't see the metal through the in between the leather.
Now, do sometimes when people are making dream catchers, do they do this step first?
Yes.
There's different ways.
Yep.
To do it, right?
Yep. It's just by choice.
Yep, absolutely.
By choice.
Whatever you're most comfortable with.
I like this way because
like that all around.
It hides the knots nicely.
Yes.
Yes. And that's kind of why we chose to do it this way tonight.
She said to leave like a foot-ish or like the size of your forearm. That we can hear you now. Sorry.
It's all right.
So do I start winding with the end that is shorter or with like the rest?
The long one.
Okay.
Okay, so this here one, we're going to wind it a little bit after the short one. And that's going to be what you hang it with. So see this one that's hanging? So what I did was I wound it around here. I tied it here, but when I went to do this part, I untied it and then I wrapped it. And then the one that came up the other side, it joined it here. I tied it together here and then I cut them both the same length. And that's what you hang it with. So your leather is one continuous, one all the way, and these are the ends of it that you hang it with.
So as there's a little break here, I just want to say Ani Buju to everybody. I was in here a little bit earlier. Once again, my name is Jay Shauna. I'm the executive director here at NAPAM. I've just been going in and checking in on some of the workshops and how everything's doing. So first of all, I want to say Chumagwetch, Nathan and Kathy for coming out and helping with this workshop tonight. Also my daughter Dakota, who's in this one, she was so busy working on her Dreamcatcher that she didn't realize I popped in and out. So then she was like, how come you didn't pop into my workshop yet? So I was like, oh, don't worry, I'll go back in now and just make sure that everyone knows that you're my daughter and that you're in this workshop and that I'm coming in to say hi. So I hope everyone else here is having a lot of fun and enjoying this workshop. I've been able to kind of hear what's been going on as I've been doing some work around the house here. But yeah, it sounds awesome, and you know, I'm looking forward to seeing the product that Dakota finishes with hers tonight. So once again, Chimagwech, thank you for all your hard work, all the youth in the workshop, as well as Nathan and Kathy and Larissa sticking around right till 10 o'clock. So Chimagwech for that as well. Thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
Chimigwech, Jason. It's been a great honor to be invited to this and share these teachings and these crafts.
Quick question for you, Jason. Did the other sessions make their attendees panelists as well? So they could see them?
No.
Okay. I texted them that that's what we were doing because we just had a lot of questions, and I figured, you know what, if people want to take themselves off of mute and show the crafts, they can. But again, it's totally optional. So just curious.
Yeah. Oh, to be fair, I don't know how many we're supposed to be in the other ones. So, and because like it's not like walking into a room and being able to see everybody just kind of sitting there. So I know that this one was one of the more popular ones for sure. So we kept sending out Dreamcatcher kits all week. So yeah, so there were other participants, but I'm not sure if they were attendees or panelists at this point.
Times we've been having fun getting to know each other a little bit as well.
This is what it will look like.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure if I was doing it right now that's what mine would look like. I've made quite a few dream catchers in my life, but I'm not sure if
everybody's will look different.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's times that our NAPAM community, when we do our team building days, we for November we did beaded poppies. So our whole day was just kind of dedicated to doing the same process of being on camera, making beads together, our beaded poppies together, and just enjoying the conversation and each other's company, even in a virtual platform. So
yeah.
Oh, so here's Dakota's. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. She just passed it to me, but here's Dakota's.
Nice.
Oh, lovely.
Very nice.
Oh, and I can see she put in the 3 beads for the 3 fires.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing too. And we didn't really look at it, but there are in your bag, there are some of those little beads in there. So you can find them and put them in there. They've got tiny ones in there. I do all kinds of workshops like that. I do the beaded poppies and I do the orange shirt pins and dream catchers. You name it, I can do it. So
Awesome.
I just enjoy teaching our youth. That's one way. Like I've been an elder in Serjane and through Nawasa, Cathedral, Bernie Custis. I've done a lot of classes with all the students and everything. I raised 4 sons on my own, so I've had good rapport with the youth. And I'm a clan mother of 6 Nations Confederacy. And I just love the kids. I think they're such gems and they're our future. So we need to be really paying attention to them and helping them grow and be strong and be able to deal with all these things that come up in this world, eh?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You know, one of the things that we're trying to do really intently here at NAPAM is really focus on positive identity development, right? And by doing that, what we're really striving to do right now is intently validating Indigenous ways of being and knowing, right? So based on our nationhoods, based on those traditional teachings and those stories, and how to understand them, but also how to practice them, right? How to bring them into our daily lives, into what we do every single day, right?
Yes.
I think I heard Nathan talking about earlier about one of the things that you learn from this process of dreamcatcher making is patience, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, for those youth participating, you know, the next time that you feel that you're getting a little bit frustrated or a little bit, you know, you feel that your emotions are coming a little bit dysregulated, right? Remember this process that, you know, when I was making that dream catcher and when I got frustrated, that, you know, even though it was frustrated for a moment or a minute, I was able to work through that. You were able to, you know, continue moving on through that and finish and complete that task, right? So you're learning that you have that capacity inside of you already, right?
Yeah.
So these crafts aren't just making dream catchers; they're teaching you those life skills that you need to be successful in whatever it is that you choose to do.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Over the years, I've said to parents that, you know, when you learn how to do these little things, you're never without a trade. This is a trade. You can do
Absolutely,
this,
it
you
is.
can sell this, you're never without diapers and baby formula. The boyfriends can do it, the girlfriends can do it, little kids can do it, you know, and you can sell them and you can always have something to help you out, eh? And it's a way to be proud of your heritage.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I even think about my sister Nikki Shauna, who she does. You know, she's moved on to even making like star quilts and, you know, even household items like pillows and stuff like that that have Anishnaabe words on them, and other language words on them, you know, and just the way of once again leaning into that Anishnaabe identity of ours, and yeah, just she's really made a living off of that now. So she's taken this skill set of crafts and not only made money kind of and a living out of selling those crafts, but also she started her own business where now she does a lot of consulting and she teaches other people how to do those crafts, similar to yourself, Kathy, that you were just mentioning. So yeah, this is a very legitimate, in my eyes, career choice for people to make, so long as they understand like the good way of walking that path in order to do it is the best way I can probably say it right now.
I think it teaches them, all of our people, to be proud of who they are, because we're starting to be who we originally were supposed to be, you know, free and able to be proud of who we are. So, and then we can work all together and help salvage our language and our customs and traditions and ceremonies, everything like that, and teach our youth what it's like to be able to, I guess, help this earth that doesn't belong to us but belongs
to all of creation.
Yes.
Like I remember the other day, so Monday, currently I'm taking a Mohawk at Ungawanagamjokwa, the immersion school up there at 6A. Just finished my Unit 1 exam. Didn't know how I was going to do. I practiced for it, I studied for it, I did my hardest on it, but sometimes things happen, you know? Mind you, I did all right, but a friend of mine, I left a comment on my post just saying like, so important doing this, and I forget exactly what she said, but then I thought of it like, you know, we were our ancestors' hope for the future. Like we were the ones that would relearn the language, relearn the ceremonies, the traditions, bring them back to life again. And you guys are our hope. You're the next generation. And then at some point, you guys are going to be where we are currently teaching you guys. You're going to be the ones teaching the next generation. You're going to be teaching them the language, or you're going to be teaching them this craft that we're doing right now, these Dreamcatchers. And I just think that's so profound, that that cycle of hope just keeps going. Because for a long time, our ancestors were starting to lose hope. They didn't know if everything of our ways was going to survive. But lo and behold, here we are. You guys are here learning with us here today. Oh my gosh, I have a Schrodinger's knot going on right now. There we go.
I have officially passed 50%. Half of the half of my leather is now around. Things are going well. How about everybody else?
I did the top piece.
Wow, beautiful.
Nice.
Yay!
Oh, very good.
Lovely.
I added the bottom.
Awesome.
Natalie says she finished her first quadrant of 12. Great. Hey, there you go.
Hey,
One down, 11
just
to
go at your own pace. It's all right.
Kathy, you said this is the most time-consuming step. Is that true? Yeah.
Yes. The wrapping.
Just because you're wrapping a lot, especially when you're.
We actually might need more than we have.
Oh no! You trust me. You've got enough length there to last you.
I just finished doing all of my loops. How do I finish that off?
Tying off your sinew.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yes.
You're at the middle.
Yes, she is.
Okay, so in the middle, you're going to be in here. So you're going to go around and go through all the little triangles. Just go through them, each one. And then when you get to the end, to the last one, you're going to just tie a little knot with it. Pull it tight and then tie a little knot in it. And then you're going to take it, cut a little piece of it off, and you're going to have a tail sticking up. So your little tail is what you're going to burn. See that little tail there that's sticking up? Did you go somewhere?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay, so then you're going to cut it just so it's a little nub, kind of, maybe as wide as a dime.
Okay.
Okay, so and make sure you use your thumb to push the whole netting out, so it's like this.
Okay.
So your little tail sticking straight out, and that's what you're going to burn. So you're just going to burn it straight up, let it burn and melt down, and then as it cools a little, give it a little push.
Okay.
And
Thank
that's
you.
going to be like a knot, okay? And then you'll be ready for starting the leather.
I just want to read something that Kathy wrote. She says, looks like everyone's doing amazing with your Dreamcatchers creations. Just a reminder to hashtag Nehiyâw or hashtag OK21 for 150 points towards our OK points listing. So again, going back to that idea that we've got lots of prizes available. If you complete the form that's on the Thursday, give us some feedback about how you enjoyed this session, as well as if you add it to social media, if you take a photo, you can win more points. So the more points you get, the more prizes or the different types of prizes that you can win.
Wow, that's nice.
Kathy says, throughout the conference, there are many ways to earn OK points. Take a picture of your bag of goodies that were delivered to your house. There are 75 points for that. available. If you don't have social media, send the photos to your YSOs. Will do. Thank you, Kathy. And then tomorrow an email will be sent that shows all of the OK points up for receiving. Great.
All right, on that, I just want to say Bama Bikuwamin to everyone. Thank you very much once again to Nathan and Kathy. I have to get decorating for my 5-year-old's birthday tomorrow. So time to go blow up some balloons. So have a great night, and I'll see you all around later in the conference.
You too, Chini Gwitch.
Thank you.
Yes, Cassie, Twitter is totally fine. That counts as social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, right, Kathy? Those 3 are the main. Yep, she's nodding. Great.
Well, we're kind of at the tail end of our evening here. I really just want to iterate something of great importance about tonight, and that is the relationship between our young ones and our elders. See, like, it was really important for me to have Kathy here as our elder for the evening and as another facilitator because when I was in school, she was one of my elders and she taught me a lot. I think I still have the moccasins that we made all those years ago. I still use those on my dance regalia.
Oh.
I need to fix them though. Maybe you teach me that someday. But it's important that our young ones listen to our elders and learn from them because our elders are not always going to be there, unfortunately. At some point, our elders do have to go up onto the spirit worlds because they're, as our teachings, our Haudenosaunee teachings dictate to us, Creator gave us a certain number of days on this earth. And once those days are up, we go back to him. Our spirits go back to him, right?
Yeah.
So, and during our lifetimes, we learn so much. Like we can learn our language. We learn these crafts. We learn our ceremonies. But if no one takes the time to learn from that individual so that individual can pass it on, when they go, they take that knowledge with them, right?
Yes.
So it's important as young people, myself included, because I'm still pretty young, that we sit down and take the time to listen to our elders, no matter what they may be talking about or trying to teach us. Because our elders have so many good stories. So some of those stories are very ancient, you know. Some of them come from the very beginning of time. And it's important that we sit down and we listen and respect our elders. And it's important that, like I was talking during the Lakhota story, when our elders get to that stage in life where they need to be taken care of, it's important we take care of our elders too. Because they've been through so much, they have so much experience. So we got to honor them for that. They've done the time. They've taken the time to learn what they know and do the things that they've done. So I just want to iterate how important that is, and that how we're also very lucky that we have an individual like Kathy here with us tonight.
Now.
Yo.
Thank you, Nathan. Excellent wording. I'm Kathy, and I am part of the coordination team for NEPAM. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining in on these sessions. I have put some wording in the side chat bar in regards to the opportunity Knox points. I'm sending out a list of all the points readily available throughout the entire week. or not week, it seems like a week, 3 days, but you will gain so much from these 3 days. The points will be emailed to your YSOs. Right now I'm sending it off. They will send it on to you. So check your emails for your, whoever signed you up, they're your YSO. The other thing I want to say is a huge thank you to Nathan and Kathy. Fantastic. I have been popping in and out all of the sessions. I'm like the biggest creeper this week, it seems, because I'm just in and out, in and out. Don't say anything, but I start typing in the side, and I thought I'd talk here for a second. Just to say, we had 100 people join our opening this afternoon.
Oh,
incredible. I know. And then 94 youth are in all of the crafting sessions. Like I have done opportunity knocks before as a consultant, and I can't recall this many people. So congratulations to each and every one of you. We want to see you again tomorrow evening. The last session tomorrow night is Skills Ontario. That's where you're going to use your glue gun and your popsicle sticks. So enjoy gathering all of your equipment ready for that too. So thanks everyone. Enjoy school tomorrow. I know you have a big day ahead of you there. And then tomorrow night, you even have another longer night. And then Saturday morning, don't forget to pop in 6:30 in the morning, sunrise service with Tom. He is such an amazing elder. You will love every minute of his speech, or every minute of his talk, I should say. He is such a wise man. Okay.
I'm a little jealous, to be honest.
You can jump in, Nathan. You have the link. The conference page is, or I'll put it in the side here, Nathan. And Kathy, you're more than welcome to jump in and join us as well for the entire conference. Okay, so don't hesitate. We have so much to look forward to. And Larissa, who has been your host this evening, she is the one who created this dynamic website for us for Opportunity Knock. So check it out. I've put the link in the side. Please, please, please check it out and go on everything. Just go through the whole thing, okay? Enjoy. I'm going to pop into another session. Have fun. I cannot wait to see your creations. There's 2 ladies on here, Carolyn and Larissa. I expect emails from you of your creations that you've been making. I know you're trying to show me. I can see. That's fantastic. Good job, guys. Everybody, have a great evening.
You too. Thank
you.
You too.
Kathy, it looks like we've got a few that are finished wrapping their suede.
Okay. Okay, so you're taking your you're going to take this part, this tail, you're going to undo it here, take that knot out, undo that knot, and wrap it so it comes to the middle of that triangle. See the little, and then so this one here, this long one, you've already taken it over there. So it should go to the middle. Both pieces should come to the middle right there. And then all you're gonna do is just tie a knot in them. And then you can put some beads on them. And take it up. See how I put the beads on this one? Whatever way you want them, whatever order. All I did was put a little knot in right there. So all this wrapping all met right here. And then I tied a knot, and then I evened it out, and I added the beads on it. And then just tied a knot at the top there. So both, and then just tied a knot. That's what you're gonna hang it. So it's gonna hang there. Now, for these parts, what I did was I took my leftover leather and I took it, and what I did was just take it long enough so it's going to go down off your dream catcher, off the wrapped ring. And so what you're going to do is measure 1, bend it, cut it there, and then you're going to fold it again. And then you're going to cut each end so that you have 3 all the same length. So, and with those 3, now I'm going to cut mine. So I can show you them. Okay, so there's okay, so I've had 3 of them. Okay, so one of them, what you're going to do is you're going to put it. Now I'll show you it on this one because you should be able to see it easier on this one. So you're going to make it even. At that end, you're going to have a loop. Okay, see that little loop? Well, that's going to go in one of these little triangles, see? And the part that sticks out is what you're going to put those 2 tails in. Put it in there, pull them both, and there you have it right there, see? Angling up. So each one, you're gonna decide what order you want your beads in. So these ones I put this was from before, so it's yellow, orange, purple. So this hanging loop will have beads on each one. Now your feathers are all, some are different lengths and everything. So what I did was I sorted them all. And what I did was take them, check them all out and make sure they're all like kind of uniform. See, look at these ones are not, they're those ones you don't even want to use. Look at that
The
one.
runs of the litter.
Yeah. So these ones are not good here. So those are not usable. But some of them you're gonna find in there. So you really have to sort them and find your good feathers. So when you do 3 of those, you're going to need at least 12 good feathers. So 2 feathers for each group of beads. And what I do with them is, you know how you take them like this? Make sure they're all the same size. So you might have to clip off the ends here, these ends, to make them even. So, and then that will be with 1 group of beads. And then you're gonna sort through them because, like I said, some of these are not usable. Here's another one. So, and some of them you're gonna get are long, but see these, even these long ones, like you can use them, but be sure and pair them off with a nice fluffy one. And then make sure they're like the same length. So when you're doing those and you put your beads on there, you're going to put your beads on and
Asking, can I get, how can I get help if I need it after this class? That is a good question.
you can always get in touch with me. I'm on Facebook under Kathy Smoke. You can just reach me there and I'll give you instructions and help you through. So for your beads, you're gonna want to put them on. So you're going along, slide them up a little bit, and then put your feathers. Your feathers are gonna go on you're gonna put a dab of glue on the leather, like right there. And then put your feather on it. And then you're gonna slide these beads over top of them. So, and you can put, like I said, two to one. So another feather can go in the back.
I just have a quick question. So once I get to this part, do I just tie it and then cut it off?
Which is that the finishing part of the top here?
Yeah, it
No,
looks like the tie.
the very top. That's
Yeah.
what you're gonna. That's going to be your tie. So you're gonna have it long. Where's my tie? Okay, so there it is right there. Okay. What I did was I just tied a knot right here.
Okay.
And so that was both of them, just tied the knot, left this part long, and I put beads on. And then this, I just cut it even.
Yeah.
And it's long because that's what's gonna hang up.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and then I just tied a little knot in the end there. Okay.
Okay. Looks good.
So
Thank you.
these here ones, they're just little loops. See, they're just looped on there.
Oh.
And then the beads are put on and then the feathers are stuck in there and you put glue in under the feathers and slide the beads on. So when the beads dry and the glue's in there, you can even take, because you've got your glue has a tip to it. So if you take it and you put it on, you can put it like this on here. And if you put it down hard enough, you can just squeeze that glue into it, into the bead. But leave it sitting for like a day and it gets hard and dry. Hi, Isabel.
Also have these, right? These came in some of the kits too. So these can go on top of the bottom part as well, right?
Yes, those are cones, eh?
Oh, feather cones, yes.
Yes, so
Yeah, you can use those. If you got a pair of pliers, you can just pinch that onto the leather.
so stick the leather into the small end and put your feathers into the big end and then just squeeze the ends.
Great.
And that way you don't need glue.
Okay.
Mine didn't come with any.
Yeah, I didn't get any either, sadly.
Neither did I.
Usually I prefer to use those just because I like the aesthetic and I can find they're a little neater. But that being said, it's not a big deal.
Conrad is asking, how do I attach the feathers?
Did he get cones?
Conrad, do you want to let us know in the live chat, or you can take yourself off of mute? Did you receive cones? No. So you're
No cones, okay.
Okay, so you're going to put your beads on the leather, and then put it up a little. You're going to put glue on the leather, and then you're going to put your feathers on there, one on each side of the leather, and then hold it like this and squeeze those beads down on it. So the glue will make it stick there, and it'll hold the feathers in and hold the beads and keep them in spot. So, and there's what it'll look like. And you're gonna have it on each end. So each end of the leather. Oh, you're welcome.
I see that we're coming to the end of our session here. Granted, it's okay if you're not finished. These things take time. I'm not finished, just to be clear and honest with everyone. So just to quickly answer your question, Aaron, you're just going back to where we started with your sinew, tie a knot with your suede, and then just start wrapping around the metal ring. It's going to take a while, but you just got to be patient with it.
So, and if you have any questions, you can, I'm on Facebook, and my name's Kathy Smoke. I'm on there. If you have any questions, just get in touch with me.
Just before we go, how do you do the like tassel parts again after we finish this top part, like for the hang side?
To hang these off the Dreamcatcher?
Yes.
Or this part?
No, to hang them. Like, how do I put them around the Dreamcatcher to hang them?
Okay, so what I did was put it in half. So these ones, it's right in half. So you've got two ends here, and then a loop on the other end. So your loop is going to go through it.
Yep.
And then all you're going to do is put these ends through it.
Okay, okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys, it's 9:58. We have spent 3 hours. Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you so much, Nathan.
You're welcome.
Helping us.
You're very welcome.
Through every step. It was awesome. I had so much fun. If you guys want, in the last couple minutes, if you want to take your camera and turn your camera on and just be able to show your final versions, that would be awesome. We'd love to see them.
Or what you have so far. It's okay if you're not finished.
Absolutely. Wow, I love the blue feathers on Amber's. Oh, I love Casey's purple. That's really unique. And Chris's gray. Wow, there's so
Nice.
many. Oh my goodness.
Nice, Fate.
Wow.
Good job, everyone.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
I love them
very
all.
good.
Oh my goodness. It's really neat that we all have different colors. That's really cool because it makes them all rather unique.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one I rushed and did this afternoon so that you could see how they would turn out.
Love it. This one's nice.
Very nice.
I'm still wrapping mine, so.
So, and I put a little thing up for hooking it up.
Thank you everyone for being part of this really special evening. We're so excited and so blessed to have all of you here. Just a quick note about tomorrow. I'm going to put the link in again into the main homepage for Opportunity Knocks. Tomorrow's session starts at 5 p.m. So at 5 o'clock, join the first call. We've got a keynote presentation that begins at about 5:15 after the MCs do an intro. So make sure that you're there for Jamie. And then we've got 2 evening sessions. And then, of course, Saturday. So take a moment as well to make sure that you complete the OK form so that you get your OK points, Opportunity Knocks points from today's session, so that, of course, you can win prizes. And if you want, I can actually put in a link as well into our live chat for that Google form for you to fill out. Thank you again, everybody. Kathy and Nathan, we will hopefully, you can join some other sessions as attendees and enjoy the other future sessions on Friday and Saturday. Everyone else, we will definitely see you. And thank you again for a wonderful time together.
Nehiyâw, everyone, for coming on. We're so glad you took so much interest in our workshop this evening. It was amazing to have you. I personally am so happy to be able to share those stories and all those teachings. Obviously, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram as well. I'm on Facebook as Nathan Talundakste Muir, and I'm on Instagram as The Wilderness.
How do you spell that?
Nice.
Nathan? At the Wild, WILD?
Sometimes I forget myself. So _wilderness. So like wilderness, but after the N, it's ISH.
Okay, I'm going to put that in the live chat so that you guys can check that out as well. Thank you, Kathy. That's right. Crafts by Cass. Awesome. And then Edge Factor as well. Edge Factor Show. Excellent. All right. If you don't have any questions, thank you so much. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yo.
You again.
Okay, guys, I'm going to close off the meeting. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.